It's Cara with Bluebird Homestead. We're working on a new landscaping bed here next to our new garage today. I thought I would just take you guys along and show you the process of kind of what goes through my mind when designing a new landscaping bed and get to dig in some holes. Also, I got a new microphone. I'm not exactly sure how to use it, but I was tired of all the wind noises in my videos. So this fuzzy little new accessory will hopefully make things more enjoyable for y'all to watch. Bear with me though as I learn how to use it. So this bed here is gonna go where you see all of this dirt here behind me. We just built a new garage. I'm gonna have a new video coming soon showing the whole garage building process. We've been very busy with that the last few months. Still buttoning things up on that as we speak. But with any new building, it gives me a new opportunity to plant some more plants. And if you've been watching our channel for any period of time, you know, I love plants. I love planting plants. So it's definitely an exciting time. So let me show you kind of my thought process of what we're going to do here in this space. So currently it is a lot of dirt because we had to grade out and dig out in order to put the garage in. First thing I did when I thought about the space was just kind of sketch out on some paper what I thought I wanted to do. And then I went into a program called Canva, which is just free to use on the internet, and placed plants and actually kind of spaced things out in a grid. And then Ryan and I have just started to come out here and mark where the holes go. Now, as I was marking holes, things changed a little bit. So I thought I'd turn on the camera and show you the actual thought process that goes through my mind. So here, let me back up first. This might be easier to kind of give you guys an overview of what I think we're gonna do. So here we have two big obstacles kind of in our way, three really. Let me back up a little farther so you can see the other obstacle. Here we have a big sandbox and the kids play for it. And then this black thing right here is our propane tank, which is gas that gets filled up for the house. And then on the other side, we have a big transformer electrical box. So I kind of need to avoid those two areas, yet I want to incorporate them into the landscaping bed so that we don't have to mow and weed whack around them. I like making my life a little bit easier. And in the summertime, last summer, and the last couple summers, we've only been here a few years, Ryan and I have found ourselves avoiding that area, and the grass just got really tall. And you can see there's a big pile of grass that just never got weed whacked last summer. So by making it into the mulch landscape bed area, hopefully that'll avoid that altogether. Envision this. This is kind of what I'm envisioning for the space. We are going to have a little path going down this middle in between these two, how to move my hand, in between the propane tank and the electrical box, there's going to be a little path going down and kind of tucking around to that back corner. This little back side of the garage building is a lean-to area. I'll walk around in a few minutes to show you. And our dog Lucy and the cats and their food and everything is going to be in that section. So we need a little path because we're probably going to be walking this area a lot. So envision there's going to be a little path down the middle, and then on either side, there will be garden beds in the ground. And that is what we're landscaping today and figuring out what plants go where. So we started at the end a few minutes ago, my husband and I. So let's walk down to this end and I'll show you kind of what we've got marked up so far. All right, we're down closer to the end of the building now. I do have one hydrangea planted next to the garage already. This variety is called a limelight hydrangea, which has beautiful white flower heads on it. It's one I actually propagated off of our other limelight hydrangea bushes, and it's quite large already, as you can see. And that was next to the house where we had to dig up for power to bring power over to the garage. So we had to dig it up and move it. And so we moved over here next to the garage. There's kind of no rhyme or reason why it got stuck right there, but now that it's there, we're kind of working off that as our base. So next to that hydrangea, If we come over here, this corner, this little orange spray painted dot is going to be a second hydrangea. I have several that I've already propagated that we're going to be putting around the garage in different locations. This is the lean-to area here on the back. And looking back at the house, here at the end, I want to put an arbor with, of course, some climbing roses on it. I have 2 X's here for the arbor. The arbor I just ordered. It will be in the mail this week. We'll put it up together, but it is going to be the exact same arbor that I have climbing roses on over on the other side of the house. I have a video of us putting together that arbor and planting climbing roses on it. If you haven't seen it, you can go check out what that arbor looks like. But it's going to be a cedar arched arbor here at the end. So there's going to be climbing roses on either side of that. And then here where this orange dot is again the hydrangea. And then we've kind of been placing X's every few feet for additional plants. Most of these are going to be roses, but one thing I do want to incorporate more is some evergreen interest. Currently around our house, I have a couple evergreen things, but most of my plants are roses and hydrangeas and lavender and Russian sage and grasses and things that die back in the wintertime. I want to have more year-long green. So we're going to put an evergreen tree of some sort right here. I'm thinking an arborvitae or something along those lines, something tall, skinny, evergreen. If you have a favorite evergreen tree that gets about 4 foot wide, 10 foot tall, that range, let me know in the comments what it is. And I will look into that for this spot because I haven't purchased that tree yet. So to recap, we've got hydrangea, roses, an evergreen of some sort here, more roses, and then another hydrangea. So kind of doing a little bit of a pattern, but in kind of a swoopy, not exact formulated way. Then next to this hydrangea, I have another X marked for a rose, and then another X marked for an additional evergreen interest of some sort. So we're going to have hydrangeas, roses, and evergreens. And then I think I will probably interplace amongst all those some purple of some sort. So maybe some lavender to mimic the lavender I have planted all around the house, some yellow daffodils, kind of complementing the same color palette that I have going around the rest of the house. I'm sure some of those will be sprinkled in throughout. Whenever I create a new landscaping bed, I always like to start with the biggest anchoring foundation plants first. So the things that are going to be the biggest typically go in the back towards the structure, and then it teardrops staggered to smaller items in the front and kind of in between. So we're starting with those anchoring foundation plants and physical structures like the arbor. So we have hydrangeas. Those will get like about 6 feet tall the way I prune them, the big green arborvitae, and then the roses get 3-4 feet tall depending on the variety. So let me call Ryan over here and we'll keep marking up holes, and I'll kind of show you guys what we think about when we place the plants and where we place them. All right, Ryan's coming over. He's going to help me spray paint a bunch of marks on the ground to dig holes. Come say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, most of you know this is my husband, Ryan. But if you're new to the channel, this is Ryan. Okay, so we're going to mark some holes. Currently, the last 2 that we've kind of placed was the green arborvitae or some other evergreen of a similar size. Oh, sorry. A pretty bird just flew by.
Still there?
It's still there. Let me see if I can turn it. Right here on the bird feeder. All right, I was trying to flip the camera around to show you the bird, but it flew away. I stopped and have to pause for a bird. Okay. Scatterbrained much? Yes, I am. I know. I admit it. Back to what we're saying. We have a green arborvitae marked, and that's kind of the last X that we've put. And so then around there, I want to do some more roses. I don't know if I mentioned, a lot of roses coming in the mail soon, so stay tuned for those unboxing videos. And we need to figure out where they're going. So what I like to do is measure kind of center to center on plant spacing of where I think I want to put things. So the arborvitae, I'm estimating that it's going to get about 4 foot wide. Now, obviously, all the estimations for plants can vary, but we just try our best, and we can always dig up something and move it if we have to. So here on the ground is our arborvitae. This is that X. So I think I'd probably want a rose right about here. So instead of just digging a hole here, I want to measure off to make sure we do actually have enough room for the tree and the rose to grow without like super crashing into one another. And Ryan is the math guy. He does most of the math. So how far apart do we want it, Ryan?
Well, first we have to figure out the size of the plants.
So we say arborvitae, we want about a 4 foot spacing center to center. And then a rose, let's do about a 4 foot spacing. So we need 4 feet between the plants, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It works better if you hold that end.
All right. Switching it around.
So we put a mark at 4. Right here?
Yep, that looks good. And then I kind of want another one in front. So we're kind of doing a group of 3 roses. So do 4 from there, I guess.
But we also need to be 4 foot from that.
Yes. So just put your foot there, and then we'll measure from there before you mark it. All right, so that's 4. And then from here,
Something like
and
that.
let's double check that one right there that we did.
Just like that.
All right, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's an X there, an X there, an X there, and then an X there. So these 3 in the front would be roses, and that mark there would be an arborvitae. So again, if my pointing wasn't great, arborvitae, a rose, and then another rose. All right.
So I'm kind of thinking we space these 2 roses out, kind of making a diamond thing here, but now this rose is kind of off.
Yeah, it does look like that one is a little farther out than this one.
Yeah. Because this one we measured off of that
Hydrangea.
hydrangea.
And
but
not
that's
off
kind
the
of a made up
arborvitae.
noise. That's kind of not made up noise. That's kind of a made up distance, sort of. So
Yeah.
really, if we're basing off of this, we can measure off of that.
We also wanted it to be kind of in line with this rose that's over here.
Yeah.
On the other side too, though.
So let's keep it in line with that, and just have it. If you want a diamond, I think the diamond would look cool.
I think the diamond would be nice.
So if we get a constant dimension off of this, that's 4 foot. Oh, and this, I have to think about how to do this. That one we have, well, not quite at 4 foot there, 3.5. And then if this is a 4 foot, let's do triangle math here. And that's 3.5. That's about a perfect diamond.
Okay, but then that one is going to be.
Well, we can move it over to be in line.
Yeah.
So we'll grab that one and just put it right here.
Okay, sounds good.
I think that will be a closer diamond. And really, I mean, once the plant starts growing, it's going to blend out, but you want it close.
Yeah.
I think that looks like a closer diamond. So now that rose that we just marked is just a little further from the hydrangea.
Is this one now too close to that one?
No, it should be. It might be. Yeah.
It looks visually a little close.
Because I moved it over?
Yeah.
So let's make that 4.
Okay, so I feel like it needs to come like here.
Put a mark there.
I'll just hold my foot there.
Thankfully, we can just mark out these paint lines with the
Yeah, since we're
dirt.
All on dirt, we don't have to exit out. When we were marking the trees to plant our trees along the driveway, we were planting in grass and not dirt. Well, I mean, dirt under the grass, obviously. But we had to mark it a couple different times, and you had to like X out. Okay, now we're doing a lollipop. Now we're doing a star. And we kept changing our symbols. But as you can see, this is kind of like the thought process we do. We measure it. Sometimes we mess up and have to measure again. Sometimes we eyeball it. Oh, that doesn't look visually right. So it's a balance between measuring and seeing what looks visually okay, and then kind of continuing off of that.
Does this look good now?
I think this looks good now. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we could even add like maybe another rose here. Hopefully these mics are working with the wind going. So we have a cluster of 3 roses in front of this green arborvitae over here, and a cluster of 3 roses in a swoop diamond, whatever you want to call it, in front of this arborvitae over here. So then in front of this hydrangea, I think having another maybe 2 would kind of tie the 2 groupings together. This right here, I don't know if you can see it, is a tiny little gardenia plant that we had to transplant in the middle of winter when we had to move this hydrangea bush. And it's pretty brown and dead looking. I don't know if it's going to come back. So I don't know that I'm necessarily going to take the size of this plant into account when we're measuring out for these other roses. So maybe we need to mark out the path a little better so I can see it visually.
Is this a curvy path?
That's a curvy path. Move back the camera.
Cara likes her curvy paths.
Yes, I do.
I'm more of a straight path kind of person.
Yeah, Ryan likes things straight and mathematical. I like it curvy and flowy. And that's why we're a good team, because sometimes realistically, I would measure a little bit now that I've been married to Ryan, but I would not measure to the detail and precision that Ryan measures. So it's good that he comes and helps me in the garden, because without him, nothing would look as nice as it does. So we make up a good team. I'm the creative mind, he's the mathematical one. All right, so the path. I'm just going to walk what I think, and then you mark it. How about that? So
Okay.
I think kind of starting this way towards the house more, coming in, going like this, maybe curving over slightly, coming back,
Yeah.
and then ending with the arbor here.
Yeah.
We'll be right there.
Okay. I think I got that.
You got that? Mark some ticks. So we can base the rose distance of where the hole for the rose will be based off the path.
Yep. This will be rough, but it'll give us an idea.
How wide are you making the path?
3.5 to fit underneath our arbor.
3.5 feet?
Yeah.
And for the path, we're not doing concrete for this one. We are going to make some new concreted sidewalks from the house to the garage, hopefully this spring. This path, I'm thinking I'm going to get some large slate stepping stones or something like that. Some sort of natural stone situation to meander through the new rose beds. I was thinking of doing another rose here, but I think that's going to be too close to the path.
Well, that's why the jog's a little much. Maybe we shift the path over, put the rose there where you want it, and then we'll come off 2 feet, right? Did we do 2 feet over there?
I think so, because about a 4-foot center to center rose spacing. I think that'll give us enough room so that
we're not did exactly 2 feet there.
hit by thorns as we walk our path.
Yeah. So X for that rose, and then 2 feet off of that is right here.
Yep.
3.5 feet off of that is the other side of the path, and then we can cross out these.
And then that still ties into that ticks you did for the path and that ticks you did for the path.
With curviness, hopefully. A little bit.
I think so.
Let me stand back here.
Yeah, get a good visual of it.
And the sidewalk is really coming in the other sidewalk in here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's some curviness.
I think that's good. So double check our measurement. I think that looks plenty far enough from that previous rose for this one here.
Yeah.
And then it
is 4.5 feet. And this one is right at 5 feet.
Okay, so let's do 5 feet off this one for another one right here.
Okay.
So that it's kind of a little bit of symmetry there.
So 5's right here. Where does that put us? 5 here. This is something where you're just kind of guessing. That's right at 5, actually.
Yeah, good guess.
Sometimes you get lucky on the guess. We need a code name for you. We need like rainbow has landed. No, not rainbow. Hydrangea has landed.
I'm the hydrangea.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we have
Tulip.
mics on, you guys can hear what we actually talk about when we're walking away from the camera doing something.
Daffodils have landed.
The rose bush.
Roses. Rose. Just Rose.
Rose?
Although your name isn't Rose.
No.
Rose has landed. Rose fanatic.
I am a rose fanatic. That's true. I hope this helps kind of just give you guys just a little brief overview of how we lay things out. And I feel like my style of gardening is becoming more and more of a cottage garden feel and a little more whimsical and free spirited, I guess you could say. So it will definitely be some other plants intermixed to add to that feel. But for now, we're just focusing on the big perennial items.
So how many do we have marked?
I don't know. Let's count them up. How many roses do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
10, 11? Cool.
I think there's 11.
Okay. I think that's a good starting point.
Okay.
Let's get the auger and dig some holes for these plants. I'm not going to do any physical planting today, but I want to get the holes prepped and ready. Some of the roses should be coming in the mail this week. Actually, I think tomorrow I'm supposed to be getting a shipment of some. So I will be sure to show you all the varieties I got, and we'll be able to actually get them in the ground then. But I just want to get the holes prepped while the kids are napping so that we're ready to go. Ryan's going to dig the holes for us. Since we've got this new auger, hopefully it'll go pretty quickly.
What I'm gonna have to do is probably loosen up like that and then dig the rest with shovels.
Sounds good. So Ryan, as you can see, he wasn't going straight down into the hole. He was kind of making a bit of a circle with the auger as he was digging to loosen up the hole and make it a little bit wider.
Yeah, the auger's only what, 8 inches?
Yeah, I think it's an 8-inch auger that we're using.
Wow.
It's the post hole auger that came with this one that we got from Lowe's. It sure beats having to dig the holes all by hand, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of what goes through our mind when we are designing and laying out a new landscaping bed. That's only about half of it. We did the one side of the path, and we still have to do the other side of the path. I think we'll probably save that for another day because the kids are all waking up for their naps. So we're going to go hang out with our kids. But be sure to subscribe and like today's video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what your favorite evergreen is. Remember, I could use some suggestions other than just an arborvitae. And also, all those new roses are going to be coming in the mail pretty soon. So make sure you watch out for that video because I'm excited to share all the different varieties that I got with y'all. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.